Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio and welcome back to our last episode of Save or Shave. Are we going to buzz it all off or am I going to be able to save it? Let's see what happens. This series is made possible by our sponsor, Manual. I've got Harry in the chair today, mate, so what are we doing? Are we going to try and save it or are we going to shave it? What's the plan?
I've been quite keen to just switch it up and shave it,
to
be
yeah?
honest. Yeah.
Okay. So this is more through choice than through that we can't save it?
It is, yeah. Years ago, when I first started thinning, I was going to shave it because I felt I had to. Okay. But I've taken like finasteride for like 3 years now, and I've seen like quite a lot of growth back, and the shave was more.
So you're doing it through more choice, yeah? Oh, okay, that's really interesting. So you're going to shave it because you've seen your hairline and your hair get a little bit thicker. So you're choosing to go shorter for that reason, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really cool, man.
I want to switch it up. I've always had it this kind of length. Yeah. So I've never had it shaved before.
Okay.
So I don't really know like what length to go, whether to like fade the sides.
Well, I mean, you tell me what you'd like first, and I can advise you whether that's a good length or not. I've got an idea of length in my head, but I'd like to hear what you think to see if we marry on that. So, how short are you thinking? Then, like, how much of a buzz cut do you want it to be? Now, that might sound like a really silly question, but do you want it to be extremely short, or do you want like a little bit more length, or what are you thinking?
Obviously not like bald. Yeah. But like, I was thinking like a 3.
Okay.
Again,
it's quite short, you know, man.
Yeah, open to hear.
A 3 sounds long when you get it on the sides and the back, but when you get it all over, it's very short.
Yeah.
I think what you're probably best doing right in this situation is starting high and going lower down, because I can't put it back on. Yeah. But we can take it off. Yeah. So why don't you start on the highest guard that I would do? Start on a number 8, right? A number 8 is 1 inch long and it looks like a buzz cut. But it's not really, it's not as an extreme buzz cut that you can get. Back and sides though, it's kind of up to you. You've got a very rectangular face shape. So you'd probably want to keep, like, if you're going to get any shorter clipper work on the back and sides, you want to go to maybe about a medium height. All right, because then we can balance that where the shadow is and where the blend is. It will give more balance to the face. So I wouldn't go too high, I wouldn't go too low, I'd go smack bang in the middle. So to be honest, it doesn't really matter what you do on the back and sides. It's purely down to personal preference. So if you want to go to skin, if you want to go to a 1 or 2, it's entirely up to you. So what do you think? We start on a number 8 on the top, and then would you like to pick a back and sides now? Like it doesn't really matter, honestly. Anything on the back and sides will be fine.
Whatever you think really makes it look tidy.
Yeah, you're keeping obviously you keep the beard as well, yeah?
Beard, yeah. The only other thing, I have like a massive cow's lick in the middle. So when I have had it a bit shorter before, it then just splits. Okay. So I tried to have like a bit of a crop before and have it forward. And
yeah, that's different though. Shaved head, you're getting rid of your fringe.
Yeah, cool.
So the difference, so when you do a crop, you can almost take the top down to like a number 8 length, right? Like about 1 inch. But you need to leave length at the front. Whereas the difference with the buzz cut is it whips the fringe off. Yeah. So that's why it looks so much harsher. Even I could do a scissor cut to the same length as a number 8, for example, but we'd always tend to leave more length at the front because of the way the head shapes. Yeah. But with a buzz cut, the whole point of that is like how it looks so short is that the fringe goes. Yeah. So don't worry about that, because I'll probably just taper the fringe a bit shorter anyway if it's a problem area still. So that's not a problem at all, mate. But yeah, I think maybe back and sides then. I think looking at the beard and the length here on the beard, that looks about a 1.5 to me. So I'd probably maybe do like a 1 on the back and sides. That's what I'll probably do. Do it to like a medium height. So I think that would give a nice bit more shape to the haircut more than just being like a shave off, you know what I mean? Yeah. I think it would balance out a bit more and the face shape as well. So yeah, I think we do a 1 back and sides, and then yeah, let's start on an 8 and then we can just go shorter and shorter if you want. So we can go from an 8 to a 7 to a 6. Normally I'd probably go from an 8 to a 6. Yeah. Because the 7 and the 8 is not much of a big difference, especially when you're going a bit shorter. So yeah, let's do that then, mate. Let's have a look at you. So these are the bits that you've noticed coming through, right? I can tell that they've been coming through.
It's almost like baby hair.
It is a bit, but it is a bit, but that'll be good for the shave though, because I think it'll look really good. I think it will really suit you. I think you'll see it more, because almost like when you're wearing it in the centre part, I feel like sometimes it can almost accentuate it a bit more. Yeah. Like I did this exact haircut. Well, I went down to skin on a client last night, and his hair has been like when he leaves it longer, it looks quite thin. But we shaved it, and he was like, Dan, how's my hair so thick? I was like, don't know, mate, just because we're going short. And he was surprised. So I think this is going to look really cool on you, man. Cool. I really do. All right, sweet. When did you shampoo and condition it last?
This morning.
Perfect. All right then. Normally I'd wash it beforehand, but we don't have to. That's fine. All right, cool, man. So yeah, let's get you gowned up and let's give it a go. I love the fact that you're choosing to do this over the fact that you're like a necessity. I think that's awesome, and I think it's, and like you said, because you've been using your finasteride, it's probably giving you the confidence to do this. And we are in summer, so I think you're picking the perfect time to shave the hair.
100%. When it was like really noticeable that it was pushing back, then I don't know, you have that fear of shaving it and showing it off even more.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Whereas you can show it off now. Yeah, nice man, I love it. I like the fact it's giving you the confidence back. That's brilliant. Thank you to the sponsor of this video and mini-series, Manual. After the success of our Talking Hair Loss series, we wanted to do something a little bit different this summer. And this summer we wanted to film 4 new episodes that stand out and are a little bit different than our usual episodes. And once again, Manual were kind enough to support us and once again bring it to the channel. If you don't know, Manual are a British company dedicated to becoming the destination for men's health. Manual offer tailored and medically approved treatments for a variety of issues specifically for men's health. And it's the hair loss treatments we're talking about today. The best thing about it all, it's all online. You visit the website, you answer a questionnaire about your medical history and receive a treatment recommendation. Your information goes to a specialist doctor on the platform, and from there you consulted on a specific treatment plan for your case. You receive the products at home on a recurring basis with a medical follow-up throughout. Manual have also been kind enough to offer you a discount to celebrate the series on the channel. The code's on the screen now, but it's also in the description if you miss it. And the link to follow is also in the description. Click that to find out more about Manual and their hair loss treatments. And thanks again to Manual for bringing this mini-series to our channel. There's some great videos in this series, so make sure you subscribe, give us a like, and don't forget, comment and let us know what you think. Now, back to the video. Number 8's on. Ready? Ready yet? Yeah. Sweet man. Right. Have you ever shaved your head before?
No, never shaved it. I've had it shorter. Yeah, I've never shaved it before, but I've had it shorter, so when I had that kind of crop style.
Yeah.
But it's always just been like a scissor cut on the top.
Oh, okay, okay. Have you wanted to do this for a while then? Like, has it been something that you've been toying with the idea of doing, and you just thought, you know what, summer?
Yeah, definitely, like since the start of the year really. It's easier, and I don't know, it feels quite in style at the minute as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate, yeah, definitely. Crops definitely are, like they're really, like, I think people are just opting for like the shorter haircut. I think obviously people are still growing it long. It's weird at the moment because the trends that are in, I don't think there's like one trend that's around at the moment. Like you've got like certain, say a certain client will have a mullet because that's just kind of how they want to express themselves. A certain client will still be on a growing journey from COVID. Clients like yourself will probably be like, you know, opting to go shorter because they're seeing a lot of guys with buzz cuts coming in. Like I don't think there is one sort of trend that I'm noticing at the moment that like I could say, oh yeah, everyone's doing this, which is probably one of the first times I've ever said that really, because it's normally every year's got its trend. You know what I mean? I don't know what, so far 2024, I don't know what this year's trend is. I genuinely don't know. Right, so before I start finalising this, right, and going over it fully and stuff like that, and obviously I'll get that part out when we wash it in a minute, but is that short enough or do you want to go shorter?
I reckon shorter.
All right, cool. Should we go down to a 6 first? Or do you want to jump it up and go down to a 4?
What do you think? I reckon 4. I'm quite keen to go short.
You want to go quite short, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool, man. Nice.
All or nothing.
All or nothing, mate. I love it. Love it. Right, number 4 now. So you see that your cow's look at the front, not an issue. Look how thick your hair looks though. Compared to before, when it was like longer. And what I'll do is I'll strengthen up your hairline as well. Okay, so I'll sort of shape it a touch. I won't like put like a harsh line through because I don't think it'll suit you. Yeah. I think I'll just strengthen it a little bit, okay? But yeah, when you take this right down, you can really see the growth, can't you?
Yeah, it's I've got like a before photo and it's crazy.
Really? Changed, yeah. Would you mind showing us later?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you got it on your phone?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that'll be great for everyone watching that.
Yeah, but it was, when it first started going, it was, I'd get out the shower and see it on the floor.
Really?
And then after about 6 months, that kind of stopped. And then another 6 months, it started growing back.
Wow. So okay, so just kind of talk me through the mixture of emotions then a little bit of, so you started noticing you were losing it. How did that make you feel?
It's almost like a panic at the start.
Yeah.
Because obviously it comes on quite quickly when it happens.
It varies for so many people, doesn't it? Because some people like notice it going for like, you know, a couple of years, and then it just sort of gets worse and worse and worse. Whereas like yourself, there's clients who come in and say like, oh yeah, it just, within 6 months I'd lost loads of hair.
Yeah.
But then obviously, now you've grown it back. How do you feel now?
I mean, I'm a lot more confident with it, 100%.
Yeah, definitely, I can imagine.
And it gives me a bit more freedom, I guess, with how I cut it and how I style it.
Definitely. Did you feel like you were being a bit dictated by your hairline and your thickness of your hair that was choosing the style for you more than you being able to
100%.
pick the style?
Yeah, even how I've had it like just before this, I've kind of kept those bits at the front a bit longer so they kind of flop over.
Right.
So it kind of hides the corners a little bit more.
Do you know what's weird though? I feel like when you look back on this video and you see yourself in the chair, the one we've just done, the before shot, you'll probably think, why did I keep them bits on the corner?
Yeah,
almost sometimes when you've got, like, your texture hair is quite fine, right? Doesn't mean you've got thinning hair, you've just got fine texture. It almost, when you wear it in that kind of centre part, if you've got any bit of recession, it can almost accentuate it.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like drawing the eye into the arch, you know what I mean? Whereas I think if you see yourself now, I don't think you'll go for a centre part when this grows out. If you do grow this back out again, if you don't go for the buzz cut for a long time, I feel like you'll go for a completely different look now.
Yeah,
I really do. I think you might even go for something that maybe, even with the, you could even go for something like, if you want to grow this out, what a really good haircut to get done as you're growing out would be to keep the fringe nice and clipped, but then just grow the back a little bit and have some more texture sitting through the back. Bit of a kind of like, bit of a kind of 2000, mid-2000s kind of era kind of style where it was like very, very clipped at the front and then a little bit more movements,
Yeah.
I think that would look good on you. You got the hair texture for it, you've got that texture that does allow a lot of movement in your hair. A little bit of clay in your hair, mate, totally changed.
Yeah, it's probably because when it started going, that's just how I did it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Definitely, yeah. And it was just something that you just ended up doing, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, so I'm gonna start on my number 2 now. I'm gonna work down. I still want to try and work with the head shape and keep a bit of squareness in there at the same time. So I feel like with Harry's face shape being like quite rectangular, I want to kind of still work with that. I don't want to round this bit off because I feel like it'll make the jaw wider, which I don't really want to do. I want to just still keep it in balance. Just very subtly keeping the blend a little bit lower, but still going to about that medium height when it comes to the one. So when did you apply for this because you saw us post about it, or did you watch the video, or?
So I was thinking of obviously shaving my head, and then it was like, well, I have no idea what different grades look like, and I guess how to even like go about it, which sounds silly because it sounds like a simple thing to do.
Yeah, but I get it though, man. I get it. This is a big deal, isn't it, as well? You know what I mean? Like, it is a big deal to shave your head, especially not knowing what the outcome will be like,
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially where it's the first time doing it. So it was obviously coming across you, and I guess more around the advice you can give with it.
Yeah.
And that's where I ended up.
Opportunity to give it a go. Yeah. Nice, man. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting this at all because I don't know anything. You see, like, you deal with Liam on email, right? Liam's job is very much kind of like model booker / videographer / editor. I have the easiest one, really. I basically just cut the hair. But me and Liam we don't liaise about what's happening on the day and stuff, because the whole purpose of our channel was to make it like as real as possible. Like, any client walks and sits in your chair, you have to deal with it, right? You have to do to your best what you can or what you advise. It's always just been that from the start, accidentally. It was never really a plan. Yeah, it was never a plan. It just happened that way. It only happened that way because we couldn't get any people in the chair, wasn't it, really, Liam? It was just because we had to beg people to come and get a free haircut. You know what I mean? So we didn't know what was going to happen. So even with that luxury of knowing now, we still don't communicate about it. Which I love, though. I prefer, because that is every day for me, though, you know what I mean? So I don't get a chance to have a conversation with the client before they walk in the door, so it's very real.
Yeah, it's nice, that, because when you watch the videos, I've heard you say that in a video before, but you obviously don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, but
honestly, mate, there's nothing.
It's just turn up, sit in the chair, and off you go.
That's it, it literally is, isn't it? Yeah. It's very much like just a regular haircut, you know what I mean? It is very much the same process as that, it is very much like what you see on the camera. But I think that's the beauty, because obviously the save or shave is like, quite a challenge for me to try and obviously try and save somebody's just a thinning hair, essentially, and give a haircut that is best for them. So it was quite a shock when you said you were going to do it out of choice. But I love how you're doing it out of choice. I think the fact that you've used medication, which you know has worked, you've seen it work, no side effects, and you're choosing now to go shorter, I've never actually come across that yet, so that's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really good for me as well. You'll be a good story to tell clients as well, you know what I mean, in the future. So
yeah, 100%. Completely different mindset to when I was considering doing it before.
Wow, that's awesome. So what was it that made you decide to go on the medication? Apart from the obvious, like what was it that you thought to yourself, do you know what, I'm going to give this a go?
It was a barber. So
okay.
I was at that point where I was thinking of shaving it because of the hair loss.
Right.
And mentioned that while sat in the chair. And he was the one that mentioned about finasteride and said, just give it a go for 6 months and see.
That's incredible.
And then, yeah, it was kind of, like I say, it stopped it falling out, and then I got the regrowth after.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, that's the thing. We do come across this every day, you know, and these treatments haven't just popped up from nowhere. You know, these have been on the market for years. You know, these medications, and obviously, you know, medication, you've got to be careful with side effects and stuff. But if you're one of the guys who doesn't get a side effect, then it's absolutely bang on, then, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's literally nothing to worry about, you know.
Still feels like I'll get new little baby hairs now. It's been like 3 years.
Yeah. The thing is though, there's so much like what we call sleeper hairs. Like you get them on your beard as well, and you also get them in this situation when you are using medication, growing it back, because obviously your hair has cycles, like life cycles, and the sleeper hairs just tend to take a little bit longer to grow through. So like my beard, for me personally, I use this as a perfect example. My beard is never this thick until about the 4th, 5th week of not cutting it. Do you know what I mean? It just gets thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. So there was a bit of an old wives' tale, if you remember, where they used to say if you shave it, it'll get thicker. Yeah. It's actually the opposite. If you leave it, it gets thicker. Because How is that looking so far, mate?
It's really good.
Are you happy, yeah?
Yeah, it's really cool.
It really suits you. It does, and I just don't. Your hairline looks all right. It's a bit high. Yeah. But it's nowhere near what it would have been.
100%.
Wow. And I think the beard really brings it to life. And you'll see it as well. It's very hard to see what you properly look like when you're in a gown. Yeah. It's very, like, just bland, isn't it? You know what I mean? When you see yourself in your clothes, it's such a big difference. So have you got any advice for anybody maybe watching who could be in a similar situation to you on like, you know, taking the medication and when to take it and, you know, why they should or why you'd recommend it?
Just to try it. Like I say, it's so easy. It's not expensive. It's one a day. Just do it first thing in the morning and just kind of stick with it, I guess, because I probably didn't notice any difference for 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the difference was that there was just less hair coming out and on the floor. And it was probably a year later that I maybe started seeing a bit of regrowth. Yeah. So I guess it's quite easy to have given up on that 5 months in and not seen any benefit, but
yeah, definitely. In reality, I don't know anything that has an instant result. Maybe apart from a haircut. That's probably the only things that gives you an instant result, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, I love that. I love that advice, mate. Just stick it out, right?
Yeah, trust the process.
Trust the process, man. Yeah, indeed. Well, I think you're a very good advocate for why these medications exist and why so many people use them and stick to using them as well. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you tell your friends like you were using it? Were you quite open in conversation with them about it?
Yeah, funnily enough, my housemate then started using it as well.
Oh wow! Nice.
So yeah, it kind of like spread through, and then I got a couple other friends that have kind of like tried it and come off of it. Yeah. Just out of choice, but yeah, me and my housemate both use it.
That's awesome.
To be honest, like the age I'm 27 now. Most of my friends are probably seeing a bit of hair loss to some degree. Yeah. So it feels quite normalised, really.
That's good, man. I think that's all as a professional, like that's all we wanted to normalise these conversations, because it's, you know, hair loss is such a natural thing. It happens to the majority of people on the earth. You know what I mean? Like men and women. You know, it's not just a thing in men. It's not singular. You know, it happens to a lot of different people. So it's it should be just a normal conversation. I don't know why it is still a taboo. You know, in some ways, like it's even down to like hair restoration. You know, like treatments on that as well. You know, there's so many people getting it, but yet like maybe if a lot more celebrities who have had this work done or on this medication kind of maybe spoke out a bit more, I feel like it would be a lot less taboo. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because I think the problem with that is that the idea of celebrity being flawless is what maybe makes them not talk out about it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm sure there's tons of celebrities who've had hair transplants or on minoxidil or finasteride, but they'd never mention it because their idea of them almost like not having a flaw in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good point, because when I have told people that I used to have hair loss and I show them the photo, they're kind of shocked that there's like a tablet that can do it. They're almost like not aware of it.
Yeah,
Neither was I guess, until the barber mentioned it. So it's still kind of like a hidden thing.
I think it would just be good if, like, because obviously there's only so much we can talk about it, but like, you know, our reach isn't global, you know what I mean, in that sense, like, you know, like, it's not something that, like, you know, we're not as an influential figure as, you know, Tom Hardy, for example. Not saying that he's on it, I'm not saying that he takes, I'm just saying, like, if it was that kind of level of notoriety and influence, you'd probably find a lot more people are quite, you know, oh, he does it, oh, great, or she does it, oh, amazing, you know what I mean? That's quite cool. Because, you know, the amount of, because if you think about it, celebrity still is such a big influence on haircuts, really big influence on it, you know, the amount of, I mean, I see a picture of Bradley Cooper from the, you know, probably since lockdown to now, I'm still seeing the same Bradley Cooper photo over and over again, you know, and that's been 4 years now, so, like, in a way, it's still an influence, you know what I mean? He still is an influence, even though I don't think he's even got that haircut anymore. It still is. So I think if it was a talking point on that side of them as well, I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. People are still like getting most of their information from like social media and things like that.
Yeah, so. Definitely. Oh, no, that's really cool. It's good to hear that it's like a bit of an open topic as well with you and your friends. That's really good. So it's changed so much since I started cutting hair. You know, it's really incredible. I never thought. I always wanted it to get this way, just because of the job. Obviously, you know, like when we were talking like back in, say, like early mid late 2000s, when you talk about hair, you'd have a conversation, it'd almost be like hushed. You know, if you're in the pub or you're in the, you know, you're at your mate's house, something, they want to ask you questions, it's sort of go like, you go from like, say, your mate's bedroom to like the kitchen, and they go, hey, do you want to ask you something, right?
Yeah.
My hairline's going a little bit here, you know what I mean? And it was always like, really like, quite a quiet, hidden away discussion where I always used to stand there thinking, why are you not speaking about this in front of like our other mates? Like we're mates, you know?
Yeah.
And
I guess that's why people get the haircuts that cover it, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, definitely. Whereas I think if it was just such an open topic, I feel like it would not be half as big a deal. People would probably jump on medication or get restorations done much sooner. You know what I mean? Like, you'd probably save a lot more people's hairlines if we spoke about it sooner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. That looks a lot fuller than I thought it was going to look.
Yeah. You always have that little bit of like trepidation that you're thinking, oh no, is this going to look much like worse than what I think it is? But no, honestly, if it would have, I'd have told you. Okay? Yeah. I would have told you, yeah. I wouldn't have been so excited to do it, you know what I mean? So I might have been like, oh, are you sure? You know, might not work. But no, I was completely confident it would. But again, that's why I always start off on a slightly higher guard. It's more for you to get used to it as well. So it's a bit of a kind of like a psychological thing with especially when you're doing a shaved head. Unless you come in and you are adamant with a number and a guard and everything else, then obviously it's different. But when you're not too sure and you were like sort of like, I want you to kind of guide me, then I'd always start off on a longer guard, just so you can start to get used to it. Take that initial shock away with a long guard, and then obviously we go for the 4, because I feel like if I'd have done a 4 straight away, that would have been a much bigger shock than if I did the 8.
Yeah, panicking.
Yeah, 100%, yeah, 100%. And you know what, it's only through experience, again, that's the only reason how you get better and you get more understanding. I've done that a few times, and it's been, you can see the shock on the face, and they don't enjoy it as much, you know what I mean? It's not as enjoyable as what it should be, so that's why I always start on a slightly higher guard.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we went down to this length.
It's a good length, isn't it, man? It's a good length. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to finish off with the scissors, and this is where I'm going to start to just make sure we tidy everything up, make sure there's no little loose bits. I'm going to give it a quick rinse out as well at the end, just to make sure there's no little longer hairs, and then make sure we definitely get that little kind of little part, and that's it's gone pretty much, but it's slightly there. I can still see it standing up a bit, so I want to get that out. So I'm just going through the little baby hairs now, and I'm just cutting into this fringe. I'm just going to start to taper it a little bit. I'm just going to use the scissors just to strengthen it up. So I'm not going to box your fringe off because I don't think you'd suit it. I think if we did that, it would probably accentuate the hairline being further back. So I'm going to keep it very natural. Okay, so I didn't sharpen too much of it off. And you know, it works for some people. I don't know if it'll work for yourself right now. So I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to kind of just casually cut into this a little bit and just make sure there's no little long bits to make sure the blending in is good. So, where are you going after here then? Are you going to see anyone? Are you going to catch up with any friends after this? Or?
No, not today.
No?
Tomorrow I see the girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Have you told her?
Yeah, she knows.
Oh, you should have told her.
She was a big advocate for it, actually.
Oh, was she? Oh, that's good then.
She encouraged it, yeah. So I think...
Say reaction video would have been great there for us, mate, honestly.
But no, yeah, she kind of encouraged me to do it.
That's amazing.
I guess the reactions have been more at work. So we'll get that shot next week.
So obviously you left work. It's obviously we're filming this on a Saturday, by the way, Saturday morning. So you left work yesterday with a 90s centre part, and you're going in with very much a Brad Pitt buzz cut by the looks of it, mate. Very similar length, very similar shape, you know.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I think you will get that double take and a smile. I don't think anyone's going to go, whoa, what have you done that for?
I don't feel shocked with it. So
no, it suits you as well. Yeah, keeping that blend to like a medium height, it balances out the beard as well, because you've got to take that into account. And if I took that too high, it would have rounded the corners off even more. Yeah. But that's probably like a 4, then like a 3.5, a 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, and then a 1 right up, up to the blend. Happy, yeah?
Yeah, I really like it.
Right, let me show you the back and sides, man. But look at it all over though. Like that hairline is so, it's really low.
Pleased with that. Yeah, looks really
look at that through the top as well. Like, this is direct light as well.
Yeah.
You're not even seeing through it.
Yeah, I like that sort of like 4 on the top, because it looks deliberate.
Yeah, well. It does, yeah. It does.
Just one all over.
No, you're right. It doesn't just like you've just got a pair of clippers at home and
exactly,
done it yourself, yeah. Cool, man. No, I'm happy you're happy. Let me just give it a little rinse out, make sure we get any little longer hairs out, and then I'll take the gown off you so you can see the grand reveal, mate. Right, so while it's wet, I'm just going to give it a little once over. So the reason I'm doing it when it's wet is because look how spiky it goes. You can see every single hair that you might have missed. Even there, look. I wouldn't have noticed that. If I hadn't washed that, I wouldn't have noticed that at all. But even when it's wet, it doesn't go see-through on your hair at all now. Have you noticed? It just doesn't go see-through at all.
That's when I used to notice it the most.
Yeah.
Wash my hair, come out, and it's like half my hair is gone.
Yeah, that's it, mate, that's it. There's nothing worse than getting a shaved head and just seeing loads of little bits. I used to always remember when I used to get my head shaved and like the barber I was going to, like I was like in and out, and like I was just a kid, so I think they just wanted me in and out. I was probably a pain in the arse, you know what I mean? I was probably sitting there giggling or something like that. But I used to get home and I used to like always see loads of long hairs that they'd missed. And I'd end up having to go and doing it myself. I'd just be there with like a pair of plastic scissors just trying to cut the top, you know. Maybe that was how I knew I was going to be a barber, you know what I mean, maybe?
Yeah, training you from early.
That's it, mate, that's it, yeah. Right. Dry this off now, man. Do you know what you'll do as well? You'll do this through the day. You'll go to brush it into your centre part and you'll go, oh, it's not there anymore.
I always do like the double hand either side.
You have it, what I always call an autopilot, right? I've got one. My autopilot is this. It goes in, I sort of like scoop it around and I let go.
Yeah.
You know? You'll have yours still, and that won't go straight away. That'll still be there for a few days at least, yeah. And I think starting off with a blank canvas like this as well, you'll create a new one. So when you do decide to grow it out again, if you do, then you'll probably maybe change your hairstyle around and create a new autopilot, you know?
Yeah, which I've never been able to do really, because it's always been that kind of split down the middle.
Yeah.
Had that for 5-6 years.
I mean, I think it was partly dictated by your cow's lick at the front, because that is very strong cow's lick. Yeah. Like it would be quite a problem area as a barber. But at the same time, there are ways to work with them and work against them. So even if I just taught you how to blow dry your hair, and you know, you can blow dry a cow's lick out a little bit as well, so you can soften it. But your hair's perfect for like a pomp or a quiff of some sort. You know, it's perfect for that because the cow's lick gives you volume and height straight away. It gives you splits at a certain point, but it also gives you volume and height. So you could again go for something like a really short, sharp, choppy kind of textured haircut as well, and use that, like utilize that fringe being like almost a little tiny bit longer than the top. So those are things you can do, mate. You're on a bit of a journey now, mate. You can kind of go and see whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Where you want to go with your look. Right, so shave your neck, and then I shall take this gown off you now, mate. So,
cool.
Happy?
Yeah, really happy.
Good, mate. Really good. It looks really good, man. It really does. It looks good. Have a feel of it.
Oh, it's weird.
So much like the minimal effort now though, mate. Like,
oh yeah, so much easier.
Yeah, it really is. Really, but does it feel thick? It feels thick.
Yeah. Especially here. This is where it was really going.
So have you got that picture you could show us? Because I'm just trying to figure out where the hairline was. Let's have a look. Oh wow. Wow.
So it's really starting to go. That is after a shower, but
yeah, no, but you can see here that the whole of the hairline is thinning.
It was almost like an inch from the middle at the front was just going.
So yeah, so it was all around this area here. Wow.
Yeah, not just the sides.
But look how thick that bit is there. When you put your head down under light as well. Wow. That's incredible, mate.
Really changed.
Really has. I'm really happy for you, mate. I'm really pleased. I'm pleased that you've now got options. More than just having to stick to something that you maybe didn't want or you were bored of, you know?
No, I really like it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Oh, yeah, made up. Cheers, Harry. Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. That was amazing, mate. Thank you so much, mate. Appreciate you coming in early doors as well.
Not shocked I am at it.
Yeah, I know. It's. Do you know what's one of those things? Like I can never really kind of 100% guarantee that it's going to be like perfect or it's going to suit you. But I was very confident that it would look good on you today. Yeah. Because I was looking through it and I was like, I reckon the shorter we go on this, the much thicker it's going to look. Yeah, now, if you stand, can you stand here for me a sec and just look in the mirror? When there's no direct light on it, look at it now.
It's crazy, yeah. It almost looks just like a full hairline. It's like a tiny little bit.
I think you're 27, you said, yeah?
27.
You've got a 27-year-old hairline.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got that little bit of height, which everyone gets at a bit of recession towards the end of the 20s. That's all you've got. Whereas before, it was thin here, and it was probably coming to about here.
Yeah.
So there is, like you said, there's probably a good inch that is completely grown back.
The cut where I had it split here, it was probably really showing off the centre part.
Yeah. I think when you see the before shots, because I'm trying to picture it, it will look a lot thinner than it does now. So I think you've chosen right. Thanks for doing my job for me, mate. Nice one, man.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Harry.